Chatty video for Colombia. Getting into Colombia especially. So I was in Ecuador. It was kind of the first time I was completely by myself doing a border crossing, and I was going to Colombia. And I just heard so many sketchy things about Colombia. And I don't know, I was freaking out because I heard like Cali and south of Cali in Colombia were like just danger, like drug smuggling places, and I was already freaking out. I was already on edge, but other people said it was fine, you can do it, but I was on edge. And so I take a series of buses and taxis, and I get to the border, and I'm freaking out already, but everything's fine, everything's nice. And so I get through everything goes by really fast and smooth, and I just want to get out of there. But for no, like, there's nothing going on where like I was in danger. But some people were coming up to me and being like, get on this bus, and I didn't know, because you could take a bus to Cali, and I skipped out on a few things that were south of Cali that I wish I would have done, because I was just so nervous that it was dangerous. But other people said they did them, and they said it was fine, but I just kind of want to get to Cali. So I took a taxi to, it's like a collectivo, so they just leave as soon as it fills up with people. So I took a collectivo to the bus station, just in the town next to the border, and another foreigner girl hops in the car with me, and she was from South Korea, but she went to school in the States for quite a bit. So we became friends, and we decided to go to Cali together. So we got on the same bus, and we went to Cali together, and everything was fine. So we get to Cali, and I don't know, I was hanging out with everyone at the hostel. I think we were there for like 2 days. I did some hiking and stuff, but definitely like the hostel did warn you that Cali was very dangerous. They gave you a map, and they gave you like green areas to go to and red areas to go to, but or red areas not to go to. And I didn't stray too far from the hostel by myself, and I always stuck to the green areas. But Cali is known for salsa dancing, so the hostel they had free salsa lessons, which was so much fun. We met some Chilean guys that we hung out with, and we also met this British guy who was going to the same direction as us. So we all kept traveling together. So it was a Korean girl, and then the British guy came with, and we went to Salento. That was the next stop, is Salento and once you get to Salento, like all those warnings were kind of gone. So we got to Salento, and I love Salento. The main thing in Salento is this hike that you can do, and it's the only place that has wax palms. And they're the coolest tree in the world. There's like this big giant ass palm tree, and the hike is nice. We were hiking, this South Korean girl and the British guy. We were hiking, and this guy was like on a horse. He was too big for a horse, and he had his boombox playing. It was kind of annoying. So we like kind of like every time we would pass him on his horse, and then he would pass us. So we were kind of going the same pace. And that was super annoying. And then on the hike, there's these hummingbirds. It's this little cafe that you can go to, and it has hummingbirds, which are really cool. You have to pay like a $5 donation, and you get like a hot drink, and so it's fun. And then on the way back, you can either go up a hill, and they say it's about an hour uphill, and kind of make a loop out of it, or you can go back on the same trail. And the South Korean girl didn't want to go up the hill, so she went back on the same trail that we came from, and then the British guy and I went up the hill, and it really didn't take an hour. It was a lot less than an hour, and it wasn't as hard as everyone said it was gonna be. So then we did a loop and then we got back. And oh, the rides that you get from this hike are these like Jeeps, and they're called Willies, and they're like kind of the taxi service that they have in Salento. And they were just a lot of fun. You like hang off the back of them. Like if you're lucky, you get a seat in them, but then if you're not lucky or very lucky, I don't know if you enjoy that, you just hang off the back of them, which is a lot of fun. And so when we got back to Salento, we were all sharing a room. So there's 3 of us in the room. And the girl, the South Korean, had made it back, but she had some journal writing to do and stuff. So she said she was going to go to a cafe. So I went into town. And I saw her in the cafe and I was like, okay, I'll go say hi. And then I see that she's like sitting next to this guy and I was like, oh, well, maybe I won't say hi. I'll just leave them to it. So later that night when she came back to our room, I was like, so I saw you with this guy. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, well, we can meet up with him later. He's this German guy. And I was like, okay. And so we went to a bar and they have this game. It's kind of like beanbags, but instead it has like clay, and then it has like a metal ring, and then they give you like little packs of paper that are filled full of gunpowder. So when you throw them, you want to make an explosion because the gunpowder will snap against the metal and make an explosion. You get certain points for making explosions, and it's the most awesome game in the world. And because you don't know if it's gonna explode or not at any minute. And I mean, obviously it's not explosion, it's like a little pop, but it is so much, like so much fun. And so we played that with this German guy, and then the next day we all made plans to go to a coffee plantation. So we may go to this coffee plantation, and it's this tour. It's like $8 or something, but they kept like delaying it, and we had already purchased bus tickets to the next town, and we told them that we had bus tickets and we had to be back, and they're like, don't worry, and the tour is fine, it was nice, but we told them to call a cab for us like 10 minutes before we had to leave, and then they were gonna give us a presentation, but they didn't call the cab until after the presentation because obviously they wanted us to stay, and we're like, so we got the cab and we like ran back to town. We had to grab it, like when we got, like we thought we would have hours of time in between, but obviously we didn't. So we were like amazing racing it throughout town, like and then we thought the bus was somewhere else. So we like went to town center where we thought the bus was, but it wasn't. It was at the bus station. So we were running around everywhere. We did make our bus, but yeah, that was Salento, and Salento was just amazeballs. And I probably wouldn't have gone to Salento unless I was with the Korean girl and the English guy because they wanted to go. And that's pretty much the theme of all of Colombia. I kind of did what everyone else was doing because I spent Peru and Ecuador traveling by myself. And finally I was traveling with people, so I just let them plan everything, and I was like happy to be with people. So my next video, I'm gonna try to keep these shorter because one of my videos is like half hour long, but my next video would be about hot springs and Medellin, and I love Colombia, so lots more Colombia videos. All right, bye guys.